of Israel. This is the kingdom of heaven. This is like when we kick the bucket, this is where we going. And they got 12 gates there with 12 names written on it. So if you're not like an Israelite, say for instance, you get there and you see all of these 12 gates. You approach any gate randomly, and the angel is going to ask you, what tribe are you from? And what tribe would you say you from?
Why would the angel even ask? Wouldn't it just know?
What tribe would you say you're from? I asked you.
Technically, if you just go by your sense of logic, I would be a Levite.
How?
My parents are from Haiti.
Oh, well, you shit. You right. You right
If I
there.
was to go by your logic,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
don't even
yeah, yeah.
think
You
that
definitely.
I don't
Hey,
think
I'm a
that
Levite.
race is
You
relevant.
good.
I don't think
You
that race is
cool.
relevant.
You cool. You can wipe your sweat.
It's a lot, man.
You can wipe your sweat, baby. Oh, you already
I
know.
wasn't sweating to begin
No,
with
no, 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 no. Because you had to have been studying. But how would you know that if you weren't studying?
because I've listened to the stuff that y'all
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
know
Yeah.
where the
And then
logic is. But
you
for
dove
you, for
into it.
you. But anyway, the Bible grafts Gentiles in, so race doesn't matter.
It don't, baby. Because if you walked up through
Why?
that pearly gate, if you walked up through that gate, if
How's
you
it not a
walked up
little
through,
uncomfortable, bro? Why do you keep
listen,
calling her a baby girl and stuff, bro? It's
because
weird.
that's my sister. That's my
Yeah, fucking
sister.
seriously, stop.
That's my sister in race. That is my sister in race. She is a fellow
How
Israelite,
about we
so I
ask
can address her
her?
like that. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Dude, first off, you have a really bad echo. You need to fix your mic. Second off, Belle, are you comfortable with him calling you that?
I don't care. I don't know why he keeps doing it, but it's not like I'm not. Oh my god. But anyway,
If you don't want him to do it, then set that boundary, and if he violates that boundary, I will enforce that. Just, yeah, speak up. In any case, Flip.
In race, I would never disrespect her.
okay. I feel like we need to focus on the topic at hand. Okay, Gentiles are grafted in based on the Bible.
But none
So
of
like
these
you making
Gentiles
it a
here.
race thing
I know,
is
but none of these
wild.
Gentiles here even believe in the Bible. So, I mean, why are you worried
Well,
about
I
it?
mean, yeah, that's
From what
true.
you said, why should we? If
Exactly.
no matter what
Because
we
it
do,
wasn't
I'm
meant for
gonna burn
you.
regardless.
It was meant for this beautiful Levitical
Flip,
sister
you
right
have to
here.
let other people
They're not.
talk. Also, fix your fucking mic.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Don't cuss me
There's
out.
an echo.
Don't cuss me out. All right. I'm a mute.
No, wait, hold on, really quick. Let me
Thank you.
let Psych get some input here. We can go
Hey,
from there.
thank you, host. I appreciate you allowing me up, and I hope everyone is doing well. The Abrahamic faiths took from, and I hope this doesn't trigger the Hebrew Israelite sounding person. The Abrahamic faiths took from Sumeria and Kemet. And in Sumeria, I'll be brief. In Sumeria and Kemet, they were pagan and polytheistic. Pagan simply means a person that wasn't a soldier from Rome. Polytheistic, they believed in multiple deities. So in Sumeria, they had 70 plus deities. One of them was El, E-L, and you'll see Israel, etc. They also had Baal, B-A hyphen, no, apostrophe A-L. They also had Yahweh, YHWH. And Yahweh became, if I could land, I know the brother has been preaching for a while, but I'm a new guest. I'll land and then you can go on with your diatribe. And Yahweh became Jehovah. So my parents used to say, Hallelujah. It became J because J was created in Italy 526 years ago by a grammarian. And people that want to know more should learn about Ra, Aten, Aten, the sun disk. That's where we get Akhenaten, King Tut's father. And Akhenaten was married to Nefertiti. So, yeah, it's just propaganda supported by slavery, misogyny, child abuse, linguistic violence, psychopathy, and of course, books made by humans that you could burn, but none of the gods will pull up and help anyone. And it's a lot of logical fallacies. I left it in 1970 8 when I was 12 years old. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you all.
I sent you a follow because you're cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so where do we go from here?
My
Um,
God.
when
We all just
God.
converted.
No clue.
But yeah, I'm
Jesus
multitasking,
Christ.
and I'm also tired, and it's like 3:23 in the morning. But why should I believe or trust in the Christian God?
You shouldn't.
You should. You can trust in the Christian God all you want. You can, because you know the Roman Catholics bought it. You know, it's not to be racist, but you know, it's like they the ones who bought it. So y'all the ones who's supposed to believe in that. We not supposed to. Y'all the ones who's supposed to believe in that. We're not. We supposed to believe in the Bible. Y'all supposed to believe in what was brought to y'all, and we supposed to believe what was brought to us.
I'm very curious. So, like, what's gonna happen to us then? Like do
I don't
we
know,
get?
whatever Catholicism says, whatever they said.
So you're saying there's multiple gods?
No, what I'm saying is
So there's only one God.
whatever Christianity, whatever came with the Caucasian Christ, that's what y'all supposed to do. We supposed to do what came with the Black Christ.
Yeah, but you just said the Caucasian Christ is wrong, right?
Yeah, and that's what y'all supposed to follow.
Hey, I got a question for him.
Okay.
How does mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive relate to what you're saying?
I don't know. Y'all said, why should I believe in it? I just gave
No, that's not my question.
opinion.
No, that is not my question. You're going on preaching. Okay, how does deductive reasoning or inductive reasoning relate to your preaching?
I don't know. I just came up here.
If you don't mind,
I just came up here and I said it's not really meant for y'all.
Okay, can I quickly tell you that you are giving mantras that lack credence in the world of formal logic and
Oh my God, you want to sound
Can
intelligent and use big
Can I
words?
just finish before you gaslight?
God, here we
Just
go.
because you're
Somebody
ignorant of
think you
certain
smart because
terms.
you know how to
Hello?
use big words.
Are you able to be a bit more mature momentarily, please? So you have a lot of words that you're repeating, but you don't have the depth in your lexicon to comprehend what's being communicated. So your vocabulary is intriguing,
Damn.
but you
Oh,
should
wow.
look into mutually. Bro, can you just act at least 12
I know, but
instead of 10?
you trying to sound all brainy because you
Hello,
can use
my
big
lips are
words. That don't
moving.
make you
I'm
smart.
talking. Hello.
Because you can
Don't be
use big
triggered.
words, that don't make
Your
you smart.
limbic system is being triggered right now. Hormones are being released, and you're losing your freaking mind. That's what's
I mean,
happening. So I'll be
you're
quiet, and
insulting
you
his
act like a child.
intelligence. How does this refute his
You can
argument?
keep talking, Cyclic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I'm
are
just trying
insulting
to
his
tell him that
intelligence.
he's repeating words that we all learned in grade 10. If at some point he expanded his vocabulary, he would learn that some of what he's saying makes no sense, but he doesn't know that. And it's sad. My mom's in the same situation. Well, she has a more extensive vocabulary, but she believes in all these ghosts also. It's like, what is wrong with people? But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Wait, so you're insulting
Wait. Can I
insulting
say
his
something?
intelligence
Can I
because
say
he's
something?
wrong about the faith,
Wait
or
a minute.
he's
Can I say something
insulting
to
his
him?
intelligence because he's a believer in general?
Yeah, what does
No,
it
I
do?
didn't insult his intelligence because there seems to
So
not be much.
you attacking his lack of a vocabulary in the Senate there, that's not you insulting his intelligence.
Okay, rephrase your question because what you're saying I
So
don't
I want to
comprehend.
know what is the point of you insulting his intelligence? Is it because he's a believer in
Now I
general,
understand.
or
Now I
is it because
understand.
he's wrong about the faith?
Now I understand, and it wasn't an insult. I was critiquing his lack of comprehension and limited vocabulary, which
Right.
leads
Is
to
that
no. But
is that
ma'am, I
not
still haven't
correlated to
finished.
intelligence?
Oh, I see you being triggered also. What would you
Yeah.
like me to say? Tell me what you want me to say.
So is
Wait,
his
wait,
comprehension
now?
No, tell me what you want me to say.
his
Don't ask me a question. You're
comprehension
asking a rhetorical
related to
One
question.
at
his
a time,
intelligence?
guys.
No,
Can I say something, please? Because I am sitting right here. Can I say something?
Why?
They
She had something
I
she
know, but
wanted.
I
She was
can defend. What
defending
I'm
you.
saying is, hold up, sis.
Let
I'm
her
glad
defend
you're
you.
here. I'm glad you're here because
Putting on
I
the
can defend
fucking channel
myself.
right the fuck now.
Can I
If y'all
defend?
don't take turns talking.
Okay, so can I defend myself, please? Now, one thing that I know for sure, and two things for certain, it's not about how something comes out of somebody's mouth. It's rather or not what comes out of somebody's mouth make perfect sense.
Exactly.
Just because you have an expansive vocabulary don't make you smart. It just means you can sound intelligent, but be a total fool. So watch yourself. Now, what I was trying to say is, when you read that Bible, you can clearly see that it's about a specific tribe of people
Yeah, we heard that already.
that still dwell in Africa till this day, and they still uphold all of the cultures and held on to the cultures before a Bible even touched Africa. Now, I want to ask this, the intelligent one who know how to use all the fancy words. Did you ever hear of that? Did you ever hear of that?
What? Who's he asking?
Oh my god.
I'm asking the one with the intelligent words. Did you ever hear of that?
Hear what?
Are you able to reiterate what you communicated?
Did you ever hear of that?
No,
My
reiterate what
speech
you...
is simple, so it's easier to understand.
No, I don't
Your
understand.
vocabulary.
I don't comprehend what you are trying to give in your
Then
diatribe.
that means you a fool that speak real well then.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I spoke in layman terms. There's no reason why you shouldn't have been able to
what a
understand
layman
that.
is. What is a layman, please?
I said lamer terms.
Okay, what is lamer? L-A-M-E-R.
That means, come on, man.
The
Come
word
on, man.
is
You that
layman.
smart, you that stupid.
The word
You that
is
smart,
layman.
you that stupid.
Oh,
What is a layman?
so yeah,
I actually
he's
like.
speaking
Don't
in
have me
layman's
start putting
terms
you in
or
your place,
something. I
man.
don't
Don't, because I will humble you. I
humble
will
me,
humble
try.
you.
Yeah, how you gonna humble me?
Oh my god.
Easily. I already started humbling you because you
Are you
sound like
from
a
New
fool.
York?
Do you know the etymology of humble?
You just smile. At this point, you sound like a smart fool.
Okay, thank you so much for the
It is
compliment.
3:30 in the morning, guys.
Yeah, who else wants to talk to the Joker? Because I'm done.
I've been awake too long.
Yeah.
See, they go on personal attacks when they can't keep up with a rational person.
Wait,
You
you're
said
the one
personal.
you
The irony in you saying
next he's gonna say, I don't have
personal
enough
attacks,
You attacked me
you were
first, though.
attacking his comprehension
You
level.
attacked me first.
Yeah, you
Right.
No,
it's
it's called
attacking his
a
comprehension
constructive
level, not a
critique.
personal attack.
It's called a constructive critique.
Okay,
have you
so
heard of
he's
it,
doing
ma'am?
a constructive critique as well.
Ma'am, I asked you a question.
You know
Have
what?
you
You're
heard of a
right. I need to
constructive
respect my
critique?
elders. You're old enough to be my
Ma'am?
father talking to me
Okay,
like this.
thank you. I could be your
Yeah,
grandfather,
no
but have
problem.
you
Yeah,
heard?
that's a fact. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I apologize.
Go on. I'll be quiet so you
Yeah,
can.
leave me
ramble.
alone.
Yeah, because you sound like a fool at this point. But like I was saying, it's actual people in Africa, as far as the Lemba, the Igbo, and the Yoruba. These tribes actually hold on to the cultures, and they say it to this day that they held on to these cultures before a Bible even crossed Africa. There was a book out there from a Nigerian slave called Ola Uda Equiano. If you read his autobiography explains everything that I'm saying right now because I do read books. I'm just from the streets, but I do read books. I'm an intelligent guy. So get that book, the autobiography of Ola Uda Equiano, and he will talk about how he saw his people in Haiti.
Yeah, don't listen to him. He's mean.
Yeah,
what
and things like
What is
that.
what is the Igbo versus the Igbo?
Oh
Wait,
my
I
goodness.
can go. Wait, are you talking about my grand tribe?
They're the same.
I'm not sure.
You're throwing out words of tribes without knowing actually a lot about the tribes.
Don't know nothing about what you talking about. You need to just shut up at this point because you sound like a fool
Okay,
again.
you didn't even know the Igbo and the Igbo were the same
You
tribe.
need to be quiet. He do.
You can do the personal attacks
You
all
do. You
day.
need to be quiet at this point.
Thinking, Okay, I need to be quiet. Can you
Yeah.
tell us more about the Yoruba
Yeah.
versus the Ashanti?
Yeah. If you want me to, I'll send you the links if you need me
No,
to.
that's not what I'm
I'll
asking.
send you. I'll let them tell
Okay,
you.
okay.
I'll let them tell you. Don't let me tell you. I'll let them tell you.
Okay,
How
I
about
got
that?
you. I got you,
I'll
bro. You
follow
don't
you
know.
and DM you all the links.
After you Google it.
I'll
Okay, I
educate you.
understand.
I'll
I
educate you.
understand. I understand Hebrew.
Did you ever hear something? Do you know? Did you ever know about? Did you ever know about a town?
No,
Did you know
unless
about?
you
Did you ever
answer
hear
about
about
the
Hebrews in
Ashanti.
Spain and Portugal?
Hey, bro.
Have you ever heard about Hebrews in Spain and Portugal?
Yes, they were called Moors.
No, they wasn't called Moors.
Yes, some of the Moors were
And
Hebrew
where?
people.
Okay. So where did they
You don't
take their
even know
kids?
about.
Did you ever
Okay,
hear of Saint
I'm here
Thomas?
to argue. I'm not here to argue.
Did you ever hear of Saint
Argue
Thomas?
with yourself.
Did you ever hear of Saint
You're
Thomas?
skipping from question to
So much
question,
fun. I
hoping
want
you
to
can
keep this
find
in
one that
You
I
don't know
don't
nothing
know.
about none of these things. You talking about they Moors. All
I
you
said
have is a European
somewhat.
education.
I
Do
said
some
somewhat.
non-biased research and see what you come
Okay,
up
tell
with.
us about Ma'at versus Ma'afa. Since you claim I have a European, tell us about Ma'at versus Ma'afa.
Is this the town of Spain and Portugal? Do you know who
Oh, there
founded
you
the
go.
town? Who founded the town in Spain? What was his name?
Still waiting for Ma'at versus Ma'afa.
What was the person's name that
Well, I
founded the
actually
town
asked
in
the
Spain and
question
Portugal?
first,
Because if you know his name,
colleague.
then you'll know where he
Yeah, okay.
descend from. What was his name?
Okay. His name was You Don't Answer
Or do you want to entertain
I'll
the
tell you. I'll tell you. His name
Honestly,
was Yaya. His name was Yaya the Negro.
Good.
honestly,
And what
Plum, you
Ma'at
pause
versus
the
Ma'afa?
conversation? Hang on, guys.
Okay, go
Coco.
on, man.
honestly, Plum, you could literally do anything right now, and I'd probably just be okay with it. So
Okay,
you're in control. Do what you got.
let's have some actual conversation without the BHI. It was getting too much for me.
Hey, sorry, do you mind if I talk a bit about Ma'at and Ma'afa? That's
Wait, hold
why.
on. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, hold
Okay,
on.
yeah.
I
Wait,
was
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
oh, go ahead.
wait, actually, wait, really quick. We kicked that guy, but we kept this guy who insulted his intelligence.
You mean my
Yeah.
constructive critique of his vocabulary?
I mean, I don't think
I
that was
mean,
constructive.
I think he was saying
it
that
wasn't
he
cool.
used the
Don't,
word
let's not
he didn't
insult
know
others'
in the-
intelligence, but also Cyclic has interesting things to say that aren't being
Like
yelled at.
when he said layman's terms, and then you asked him what a layman was, and he couldn't answer that. That
Yeah,
was. I think that's what he was getting at. I don't think he was making the argument from authority.
no,
valid.
not at all.
You're saying,
I'm
oh,
just
you're
saying.
wrong just because you don't know these words in the vocabulary. I don't think that was what he was saying at all.
No, all I'm saying is if we say words and we're trying to convince people of a point, but we don't define the words and don't know the definition, how can people trust us? If I say, New York Knicks, and then I start talking about they're from Los Angeles, you say, well, you don't know the New York Knicks. People take it as a personal attack instead of a constructive critique of the person's arguments. That's all it was. I was just going to say briefly why I brought up Ma'at and Ma'afa because his claim, well, some people claim if you talk like me or some of you that you're Eurocentric and whitewashed. That's why I wanted to see if he knew about Ma'at. Ma'at is a concept from Kemet, Egypt. She was also a goddess. You'll see her on some of the in some of the tombs. Well, her representation, she was a myth. Then we have Ma'at, and I'm sorry, Ma'afa, and unfortunately that was related to the transatlantic slave trade because I've unfortunately had to study this in order to understand our Western capitalistic MAGA world that we live in, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, thank you all for listening. I've enjoyed talking with you all, having a dialectic. I don't like to debate really because debates are about winning. Dialectics, we all talk, learn from each other, hopefully, even if it means learn that a person might not know much about what they're saying, and that's okay.
Yeah, I like the more open discussions where you can kind of like be like, well, maybe I'm wrong, and get the other person to also be like, hey, maybe I'm wrong, and then you can actually have a discussion. But when everybody's like, no, I'm right, and this is why I'm right, it becomes very heated very quickly.
Yeah, now debates are good for sharpening skills, though. Like if we wanted to improve our grammar, syntax, semantics, I could debate that I'm a nut, right? And go on for hours. No, well, here are the reasons why I'm a nut, because da 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 da. But I don't know if social
I think
media
one
is the
reason why I
place for
get
that.
heated with people is because our beliefs we somewhat assign to our identity, like what we believe is
Yeah,
like
true,
how
true.
we identify. So when somebody steps on our beliefs, we feel
Personal
offended.
attack. Yep.
Whereas
Yeah.
as if you can, when you come to a debate or a discussion, if you can detach from your beliefs and allow them to be stepped on for the sake of learning about them, and like a diamond is formed by extreme pressure. You want to put your ideas under pressure so that they can become more dense, more strong, and then you'll have better views. But it's difficult. It is difficult. I myself am a very sensitive guy. I can be stirred up pretty quickly when somebody brings up a topic that is something I believe. So
Yeah, and actually, this is what you described is how we supposedly grow cognitively and how our bones grow through fracturing. That's why jumping up and down, it's not the basketball that's making people taller. The bones are fracturing as we're younger. But if we take personally, like you said, an attack as opposed to a critique, like if someone said right now, well, I don't like your voice, I don't take it personally. I just say, oh, okay, that's interesting. You don't like the frequency. But what does that have to do with the topic? So yeah, it's maturity. Emotional maturity is very important in these types of discussions. Now, if we're talking Superman, Batman, and cartoons, hey, let's go for it. But we're talking, religion, spirituality, cognition. These aren't areas to play with. They're very serious.
the only reason why I brought up the Spider-Man with him was 'cause I wanted to demonstrate for him why his logic he was using was just kind of trash. Because I was like, well, why do you believe the Bible? And he was like, because it's beneficial. It's like, well, just because there's something beneficial in it doesn't mean that it's true.
Yeah, and the reason I put Spider-Man in, I use him often when I'm hearing discussions where people are arguing vehemently in support of mythical characters that never pull up.
I used to
So I
use
say,
this
okay,
spaghetti
weird.
monster a lot, but
I have
it's
two
become
Yeah,
funny.
the black
questions.
I like Spider-Man.
So I have two questions. Do you guys feel like atheism leads to like peace and happiness?
Atheism is just a lack of belief in God. I don't think it leads to much of anything. It's just a lack of belief.
Well,
Okay.
interestingly enough, what would you say, Coco?
I would sort of agree. I don't think atheism leads to peace. Because whenever I left Roman Catholicism and I became an atheist, I had everything but peace. I became like nihilistic and like was trying to figure out like what to do with my life. I think it's kind of just a lack of belief in God. I'm not sure if I guess it can lead to some peace because you're not worried about hell and certain things, but I don't know. It really depends on the person. It's kind of like subjective.
Yeah, why should I abandon my faith for that? And
Well,
like sometimes I'll go, hold on, cyclic, is that how you pronounce it? Um sometimes when I go into deconstruction lives and I see how the atheists are acting in the comments, like all the anger, all the like they're like volatile. I'm like, why would I leave my faith for that? No offense, y'all, but like, no.
I get it.
can I answer your question, please? You said, does atheism lead to X? In this case, it's a variable. I'm not sure if you meant dependent or independent. But your question itself is questionable, and here's why. There's a thing called mutually inclusive. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Your question leads to a mutually exclusive response, when in actuality, there are multiple things that come from atheism. One could be peace, but one could be drama because your whole family is religious. But you could have peace because you're not participating in a religious system that oppresses women, children, people of color, etc. So I think in your well,
I don't feel
remember,
I
oppressed.
think something else
I'll
important to
let,
point out is that we're not choosing to be atheists. It's just that we lack belief in God, and that makes us an atheist. It's not that we're choosing to be this. It's just that we are. It's not a choice.
So,
You're just not convinced, so that makes you an atheist. It's not
so
that
you
I
were
chose
always
to
like an
not be convinced.
atheist?
Say what?
You were always an atheist? You always lacked belief?
No, I used to be a Christian.
What happened? Like one day you're just like, nope, this doesn't sound right. And
No,
then,
it was a very gradual. It was a very gradual thing for me. I went from being an atheist, or from being a theist, where I believed in God fully, and then I heard some people discussing topics, and that allowed me to question my own beliefs on whether or not the Bible was historical text or whether it was just metaphorical. That was the first kind of real debate I experienced that got me to question my belief in on whether or not I believed the Bible was historical or metaphorical. And
mhm.
then just understanding certain things about science, and like as a kid, I remember I went up to my preacher as a 6-year-old after a sermon, and I asked him how I think it was Joseph, or not Joseph, one guy in the Bible. He said, "Sun stand still," and then God made the sun stand still. And I was like, "How is this possible with what we know about the Earth revolving around the sun? And if the sun did stand still, how that wouldn't have actually panned out in the sense that I think whoever it was in the Bible, was it Joseph, or with the name of the character in the Bible who had that experience? But anyway, I always had that question. I was always questioning things like that. It's been in my nature to question things. So as I got older, that nature just grew, and I became more questioning of my faith. And I reached a certain point where I was no longer convinced. It wasn't just a overnight, like one day I woke up and was like, "Oh, this is bullshit." It was like a gradual process that one day I woke up and was like, "This doesn't make sense to me," as much as it did a year ago. Like a year ago, if you would have asked me whether or not I was a Christian or an atheist, I would just respond with, "I'm an agnostic." Which now that position has changed for me, I would respond with, "I'm an agnostic atheist." I don't know if there's a God, but I lack belief in a God. Because you can be an agnostic theist and not know, but still believe. So for me, it wasn't a overnight experience or an epiphany where somebody said something like an aha. It was a very gradual process. My whole family is religious, so it wasn't easy for me to walk away from my faith. My family took it very hard. They took it as a personal attack on them for some reason, and it didn't make my life easier in that regard. But I was living honestly as myself. Like I had people when I was younger ask me if I really believed, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And that was when I really did believe, and they were like, "Well, you know, like you do this or you do that, and that seems like you're not really a believer." And it was like, "No, I actually believe. Just because I dress in a different way than you think I should doesn't mean I don't believe." I don't know. It just, over time, I eventually lost that. I was no longer convinced. Just like losing faith or belief in Santa Claus. Like when you were a kid, I don't know if you ever believed in Santa Claus. My family, they were so religious that they never did. I never got to enjoy that experience. But it's a lot like that.
Well, what were you? What denomination were you guys?
My parents were in a cult, basically. They believed in a prophet named Brother Branham, if you look him up.
yeah,
It's
Is that
a cult
is
of
that Mormonism?
Christianity. No, it's not Mormon.
Oh, I
It's
don't
just
know.
a specific cult of Christianity.
I'd like to add
They believe in
something.
Jesus. They believe in the Bible. They believe in, but they filter a lot of it through this prophet they believe that lived like less than 100 years ago.
Yeah, and a lot of times what happens is people from traditional Christian circles look down on cults, when in actuality, the traditional Christian circle is a cult because
Yeah,
it
exactly.
comes, you know,
Oh my
that's how it
God.
started. It started as a cult of believers that
Do you,
traveled.
do you know what
And
inseparable
um,
means?
I'll land and then you can critique away if you don't mind. I know you're being
Yeah.
triggered right now by your limbic
Yeah.
system,
She's not
but
triggered.
can
Chill
I
out.
land?
Yeah,
No,
she's
but
pretty sure.
every time someone's talking something she doesn't agree with, she interrupts. So what happened is the early cult wasn't, they weren't called Christians at all. They entered Germany. And in Proto Germany, because it wasn't called Germany, of course, they took the word God. People can look this up right now. God, etymologically, is Gudan. Lord, L-O-R-D, oh my Lord. The Lord is Germanic. Lady, Germanic. Now, why would the early cult take those terms? Because German tribes are like the Zulu or the Comanche or the Caribs. They're not going to convert unless you do something to convince them. And so the cults now have become the major religions. We had the Catholic Church, we still have it, the Holy See in Rome. Then we had Martin Luther and the schism, right? The thesis. And from that, we got the Protestant Reformation. And then a king in England decides, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. So then we got the Church of England. And before that, of course, we had the Muhammad situation where he thinks he's illiterate, but he heard from Allah. Yeah, it's a very interesting fantasy, I think, but I know my mom and siblings don't believe, and me, and it's okay. That's why we don't talk. So it's okay.
So I wanted to know, I don't know if this is too like personal of a question, because I see like the rainbow flag in your I guess username. Does it have anything to do with why you decided to leave the faith?
No, no. I recently, in the past like year, came out as and realized that I was bisexual, and when I was a Christian, I was closeted. I did not know that I was bisexual. I was not aware of my sexuality at that time. But ironically enough, a lot of people treated me as though I was, and like as like I got called gay a lot, and I didn't believe, like I didn't think I was gay. I didn't think I was bisexual. So it was weird that I got treated like that a lot growing up. But it never bothered me like that, because I back then it was like I'm not I'm not gay, so it doesn't bother me. Like it, like, so what, you can call me that all you want, but it doesn't bother me. Like, to me, because I'm a feminine guy. I've just always grew up that way. I'm just a feminine guy, and that's just how I viewed it. Is I was just like, everybody's just misinterpreting my self-expression. They're just seeing my self-expression as overtly feminine, and so they're just assuming that I'm gay because of that. And to me, that didn't really bother me. And it also, there, like I said, it was such a gradual thing for me when I lost my faith. There were many points where I was like, it's okay to be gay and to believe in God. That doesn't clash. There's no contradiction there. There's no problem with that. I don't see a contradiction between, like, you can believe in evolution and believe in God. These ideas do not bump. So like, that never was a problem for me. For me, the problem was, is it true? And when you ask that question, like, can I verify it? Like, it may be true and I just can't verify it, but like, if I can't verify it, then I can't verify if it's true. And then the question just remains. I can't just assume that it is true or isn't true. It's like Schrodinger's cat, like, until I actually open the box, it both is and isn't. So that's what makes me agnostic.
Yeah, let me add to what you said, please, because some things can be true in philosophy, but not in genetics and natural sciences. So, for a lot of religious or spiritual people, when they say this is their truth, it's actually true. The problem is they're talking about the unicorn flying around the galaxy. So, yes, it's true. But let's now try that truth in the sciences such as genetics or biology, and then you find, oh, wait a minute, it was only true in my mind that I actually can fly and, go around the galaxies throwing popcorn in the air. And I think that's why it's so important to understand the differences between the natural sciences, the social sciences, the applied sciences, the humanities. And some people conflate it all as one thing. No, it's all the same thing. No, it isn't. And even if we didn't use those words, X, Y, Z, A, and B, category X, the humanities, music, etc. Category Y, natural sciences, because some people argue, well, that's the white man's name. Okay, well, let's call it by variables. But I don't think religious people tend to see that. They see it as two worlds. One world is religion, and then the other world is academics. But the truth is, religion comes under humanities or social sciences. But I don't know if that would make sense to my family.
Hello, guys. How are you? Cycle, I believe that a university is exactly like a church. And the lecturer is the pastor, and the people come in, and then they learn the religion, and they go out and speak it. It's only a belief. You say things about flying unicorns and stuff, but the bumblebee should the European bumblebee should never take off. Its wingspan is too small for its body weight. It blows away every bit of mathematics ever. The giraffe. There's many peculiar things on the earth, and what I'm trying to say is that maybe you're part of a religion that you don't even know of, and you've been taught. If you remember, universities started off with theology, then they came to science, and now it's postmodernism. And postmodernism means that anything can exist. So you cannot really say, I can't believe in God due to the postmodernism.
I'll respond quickly because I heard someone else also. You are very great at literary language. I congratulate you. In some ways, a university or college or kindergarten can be like a religion. But if you are to then try and tie that to educational pedagogy, that's where your argument will not be valid. So you gave a very great Shakespearean presentation comparing universities to religion. But then if you put your argument in the world of professors who actually are educators, they would say no, unless they were religious. And then they would say yes. So I have a question for you honestly. Are you religious or spiritual?
I grew up religious, but after visiting the brothers and sisters in the persecuted nations where people are tortured and unalive for their beliefs, I've got into a spiritual place that that basically I find the intellectual people the problem on the earth. I think everybody should go back to the bases like children.
So, question for you: since you're arguing that university is just like religion, would you say the same thing about K-12, that maybe we should just disregard teaching children ABCs, 1, 2, 3s? Are you just saying that when people have a lot of academic skills and then trying to conflate that with religion? Would you say we should get rid of all education, K-12, university, college, technical schools?
Yes, I believe that the parents should teach their children, and we should be more less global, because it doesn't matter to me what's going on in another country. I've only got an opinion about it. I can't do an ounce of thing about it. And all the big religions around the world, they've got enough money to stop all the homelessness and all the pain. The governments have got the same ability. If they put as much thought into food and feeding the people and giving us water and all that all around the world, instead of going to the moon and back, then I'm sure that would be right. So it's bad governance and intellectualism. Intellectualism is pride.
Now, you actually have some very good points and a good heart in that you want to see good around the world. I'll be brief because I know some other people are probably waiting to chime in. If parents teach children everything, since parents can't know everything, that then puts the children at a disadvantage, possibly in GAAP. Have you heard of GAAP?
No.
Okay, generally accepted accounting principles. Have you heard of the difference between machine code and machine language and machine algorithms? In other words, the point I'm saying is you could list 100 things that I don't know, right? But imagine if my child had the opportunity to learn from you. So homeschooling does have a place if the parents have their role, but I think maybe back in 1400 BCE, some of what you are suggesting would have worked, but I don't know if it would work in this fast-paced environment where we have to learn a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
thank you for listening.
Yep, I understand that we can't go backwards that fast, but there's no way that technology has done anything. There is more deaths, there is more cancer, there are more diseases, there's more mental health, mental diseases, there's more wars, there's more hatred, there's more ways to kill to unalive each other, there's more rape, grapes, there's more weird things, and nothing. There's less animals, there's more polluted rivers, there's nothing in technology or in intelligence has done a thing. The beginning was kings, and the king was the one that could hold the storehouse for in times of famine. Then we could all be fed. Basically, we only need to eat and breathe and enjoy ourselves.
What
Man has come along, and man has dug the stones up. He's added heat to the stone, alchemized it, turned it into a new molecular structure, built the world upon the earth, and destroyed the earth in the process.
Officer, ma'am. Damn, are we ever lucky we ran into you.
Heard someone else. I have something to say, but I'm going to be quiet because I hear someone else wants to talk.
What's it that makes me so special?
Any atheists got any fight in them? I don't really know what to say to that.
Well, let me just say, I think that what he's I'm into herbology, meditation, and nature. But I am also in a world where I have to know about AI, and I have to know about machine learning, and I have to know about geopolitics. So wherever we are on the planet, we're impacted by the N weapon. We're impacted by global warming and pollution. So I think his heart is in a good place, but the reality is we have to be educated about subject matter, whether or not we believe the subject matter is good for the planet. How then will we improve the what's happening with the carbon cycle, the pollution that's happening because of dirty energy? How are we going to do that if we don't know about the carbon cycle and can't explain it, or the hydrogen cycle, or the nitrogen cycle, or don't know that most of the plastics are byproduct of the oil and gas manufacturing process? So education is a critical tool in order to stop what we're seeing on the planet. Thank you.
I don't want to strawman his argument. I didn't fully understand his take, but it sounded like he was saying like technology is bad.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I mean, like indoor plumbing, man. Like my dad's a plumber.
The wheel.
My dad used to say plumbers protect the health of the nation. It's a technology that was invented that is beneficial to our health, and like doctors and medical science.
X-ray machine.
Like there's just mountains of great scientific.
But don't you understand? Through making the nuclear bomb, some lunatic's going to push the button one day. Through look at COVID. Look at COVID. Everybody got the jab, and now everybody's just being quiet about it. Imagine how many times that's happened over the Earth's existence, where someone messed up really bad, and everyone has to say, "Oh, don't talk about it because I was involved." Every single person knows now that COVID has killed, unalived many people, and gives sickness all over the earth. And yet everybody's looking at each other going, it didn't really happen, it didn't really happen.
Hey, brother.
It's childish. It's not mature.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, my bro.
If we were to, and by the way, I agree with some of what you're saying, not necessarily about COVID, but about technology going awry. But if we were to take your point to its true fruition, you would be on a honing pigeon sending us messages. And I would get it in 2 weeks after I eat the pigeon.
Yeah,
So
but it depends how you want to live.
No. Hold on, bro. I'm passionate too. We're all passionate.
Sorry, brother. Sorry.
I agree I'm actually working on a project now in AI with colleagues to try and create a better version of artificial intelligence using Python and some other programs that won't be so misogynistic, racist, and xenophobic, etc. So some of what you're saying, I agree, but I have to participate in a real world. Unless I move to a mountain and high on a mountain, the only goat, hey, 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 you know, Sound of Music. I mean, we're in the real world.
Can't do it fast.
So, you know, I mean, yeah, bro, we got to come to the real world. We need you fighting.
Very funny.
You like the movie, right? You know it was a good movie. Come on.
I like. It was funny because I was talking to a mate at work the other day, and he said, I'm doing yodeling classes. I went, well, you're the first man I've met that's doing yodeling classes. And I sang that song to him. High on a hill is a lonely goat. And now you just sung it to me, and that things like that make me really laugh.
Stuck in my head for a week.
Yeah, Candy.
But yeah, I'm not trying to be the doomsday dude, but that's all I can see coming out of this intelligence. I can't see anything. I think that's what the Noah's Ark story is. I think we've already been here. I think we've already done this before, and I think we messed up really bad.
So you shouldn't have morphine because somebody might use it as heroin, is your take. We shouldn't have medical science.
Saying so.
I think we should keep it. We should keep it tribal and not so much global. That's what I think I'm saying. Let's keep it tribal and not global. So let's make it short, small little things instead of trying to make it this multinational, multicultural, It doesn't work. It doesn't work globally. That is someone trying. That is the mad professor going, I will take over the world. Pinky in the brain. You know what I mean? But if we kept it, we could share these things, but keep it into nations, keep it into some kind of boundary. That's what I think. Because at the moment it's getting Pinky in the brain. Tonight we take over the world.
Hey Jeffrey, I think you may be arguing tribalism versus globalism, and globalism could be positive. Do you know about the Romans and the Etruscans?
No, but I lived before multinationalism and globalism. I lived before Thatcher and Clinton, and I lived before all that, and we got along really well. We used to get our milk delivered to our door, our bread delivered to our door. When we went to a petrol station, somebody would be there. They'd check our oil, they'd clean our wash our windows, and they'd fill up the petrol tank. We were treated like kings.
Yeah,
and it cost me 70 cents for a packet of cigarettes and 36 cents for a beer.
And during that
now,
same time,
$47 for a packet of cigarettes and $12.50 for a beer. That's cheap if I go the cheap ones. So what I'm saying is it hasn't worked.
During that same time, you know what was happening with Haitians and in the Congo, meaning if we think for ourselves, we want what's best only for us. We don't think of the planet, right? But if you look at my example, let me just finish, bro. I'm passionate like you. I'm just trying not to be rude. But if you look at the Etruscans and Romans, listen to the Etruscans and Romans. They were tribes. And the Romans crushed the Etruscans. So your argument is not really a truth-bearing one, because even some tribes crushed other tribes. The problem isn't tribalism or globalism. The problem is psychopathy and sociopathy. That's the deeper problem.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. You hit the nail on the head. I think that's what I said at the beginning about the good governance and the good leaders. Like a man that wants to, a king that wants to serve his people, not rule his people.
Hey, so do you think that if one of us has great prices on food and another one has high prices, that is a good thing or a bad thing? Or you're neutral on that point?
I don't think anybody should make money out of food, water, or intelligence. I don't think books should be sold. I don't think anything like that should be sold. That is just natural. Like, who like the African said, who owned the cow? Who bought that bit of land first? I'll pay his family. It's just ridiculous. That's just another trickery of the hierarchy. You know what I mean? The serfs and the lords. I don't like it. I don't think anything should be like that. I think if you look at true Zionism, which is written into the Torah, and how they were told to the Jubilee and setting free, releasing the prisoners, keeping a quarter of the crop in the corner of the crop for the people that crop failed. It was all about a society. It was a way of looking after each other. And Karl Marx, father was a rabbi, and he got a lot of his ideas from Zionism, and then took it to that psychopath you're talking about. But definitely it was a brilliant way. Even taught how to let the field lay fallow, what animals to keep that wouldn't turn the land to mud, how to cleanse ourselves in the water system as long as it was flowing water, and just some very, very scientific knowledge in that ancient book, but also a great way to live together as long as you've got the good king and not the psychopath.
I don't know if a king and royalty are the only ways to rule. There's communal rule also. There's rule by the female. There's rule by 2 or 3. A king could be corrupt, but a community can have a more balanced approach. If one person is corrupt, the community can outvote that person. And you know the stories of the knights? Those knights were not nice guys. They were actually going around the world and in London, etc., defending the king. And the king had slaves.
All
So,
right, guys.
I don't know if I support the king concept.
All right, guys.
Okay, I reckon your way would be better. I think a council of people would be better. 100%.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
Hang on.
I am feeling.
I'm going to get going anyway, guys.
I am feeling really tired, so I'm probably gonna call it a night and get in my bed.
Yeah, you have a good night, Coco.
Yep.
Hey, thank you for the time, host and everyone. And we can stay in touch.
Sure, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, definitely.
You had no choice. You were already given your choice.
But I'm asking because